Hi guys, Lauren here from the Mount Royal Triathlon Club. The weather today is not looking so great, but tomorrow is supposed to be absolutely beautiful. So it's going to be a really great day to get out on the bike. We're out here in the mountains actually right now, so planning a pretty awesome ride for tomorrow. Before we do that though, just want to make sure that the bike is all ready to go. Take that little bit of time today to make sure that we're not going to have any problems tomorrow. So a good quick check to do, if we can all remember the acronym ABC. If you work in the helping professions, you know that ABCs stand for airway, breathing, circulation. But in this case, they stand for air, brakes, and chain. So we're going to get into that right away. Okay, so A for air, first off, pretty straightforward. We want to make sure that we've got enough air in the tire. I have my pump here with me, so I can, generally what I would do is I would just actually put it on there and make sure I've got my roughly 110 PSI in the tire. But if you don't have your pump with you, a good way to just a quick check is just to put a firm palm on it. Give it a little squeeze, make sure that it's actually, there's some rigidity there, that it's not absolutely gonna go flat on you, if nothing else. Most of the tires are gonna say on them what inflation is required. Generally on a bike like this, or most road bikes, it's gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood of 110 PSI. Could be a little more, a little less, depending. But that's the goal. So I would generally, I have my pump with me here. It's definitely a good investment to make if you're new to biking this year. This is definitely something you want to spend a little bit of money on and have your pump ready to go. I would just go ahead and pump my tires and get them up to 110 PSI or whatever I want for the conditions. Everything looks good. I want to make sure that we've got no wobble on our wheel. A good time to, I've got it in the stand here, but give it a wobble side to side. Just make sure that there's no free play there. Same thing on the front. Just a quick check. Make sure there's no play. It all looks good. We're gonna now go to our quick releases and just make sure that they're tight. Make sure that we're not gonna have any nasty accidents out on the road. It all looks pretty good. Obviously, I can't check this one because it's in the stand right now, but we would take it out and just check that, verify that it's tight. After that, other things you might want to do. I've got a little plastic tire iron with me. The way I like to check the spokes is I just kind of will run that across it and actually listen to the spoke to see if there's anything loose. Usually if you get a loose spoke, you can kind of hear a little bit more of a dead sound. But they all sound pretty good. They look good just on a quick visual. Nothing seems to be loose, so I think we're going to be good there. Repeat the process at the front. Just give it a little spin, or just kind of go along. Take some time. You don't have to rush, right? It's cold today. We're not going anywhere on it except maybe like in the basement on the trainer or something going on. If you look down between the brake, you can see whether you have any wobble or not. And right now the rim looks like it's spinning true for me, so I know I'm not gonna have any problems there. So I think we can move on. Okay, so next is B for brakes. We're gonna have a quick look at what's going on with our brakes here. Good place to start really is the levers. Make sure that they're tight, that they're working. that there's no binding, cables are attached, everything is there. You know, that verify that they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. These levers are a little bit loose, so I might tighten those just a little bit. I actually don't like to have them too tight in case of a fall. They'll actually move to the side rather than breaking. That's a personal choice, but as long as they're secure, we know we have a good starting point. You want to take a look at the caliper, make sure that the pivot points aren't seized, that you've got enough pad there, that the pads aren't totally worn out. I'm sure most of you have a little multi-tool like this. It's good to just kind of go around. You can just kind of verify that things are tight, you know, that there's nothing loose. It's good, just take the time to do that. I mean, right now I feel like I need to rush a little bit because I think there's going to be some snow coming in here, so we don't want to get, but you know, like, you can do this in your garage or your living room or whatever you like to do. But yeah, get your little multi-tool out, you know, check to make sure if you've been riding it on the trainer all winter, things like the cables can get stretched. I mean, obviously we don't use our brakes a lot on the trainer, but definitely your shifters and things can get stretched, which brings me into the next portion, which is C for chain. So when we say chain, we're really just we're thinking about the whole drivetrain here. So, you know, obviously, first thing you want to make sure is that the chain is moving freely, that everything seems to be spinning and not binding. You want to check the lubrication, make sure that you've got adequate lubrication, that it's clean. Right now, this chain's looking a little bit dirty. I'd like to clean it, but I'm going to be excited to go out tomorrow. Probably just going to make sure that it's lubed for tomorrow. I could probably get away with this for actually quite a while. The main thing is to make sure that it's lubed and that it's moving freely. You want to check your cassette, make sure that all the teeth are in good condition. Same thing up at the front on your crank. You want to have a look at these teeth, make sure that you're not missing any, that there's nothing crazy going on up there. Good time to have a look at the bottom bracket area. It's hard to see with the crank in the way. You know, make sure that there isn't anything going on with your pedals, that they spin freely. And again, it's just a great idea to just get a hold of things and move them, give them a shake. Once you've kind of had a look at your drivetrain, you can move on to some of the other things, basic things like the seat. Is it the right height? If it is it secure? All right, so I think that concludes the Spring Bike pre-ride check. So there you have it, ABC, air, brakes, chain. Weather's supposed to be nice tomorrow. Guys, have a great ride. Don't forget your helmet, and see you next time.